Megaman. When you think of the series, your mind likely jumps to the Nintendo Entertainment System of games. And who could blame you? They are some of the best games on that system. I'm sure at least one of the games made it to your top 20 favorite NES games of all time. But that's what I'm not here for today. Now, the first Mega Man game, while a good game, didn't age as well as the other 5 did. I mean, Mega Man feels like a mountain of bricks while platforming. The weapons are alright, and there are no invincibility frames on spikes. However, for some reason, there's a really weird scoring system that never appears in any other mainline Mega Man game after this one. If you are curious about how it works, I recommend you check out the Retro Dudes video about it. It helps me do my research on how the scoring system works, and it helps with this video. And that got me wondering if I can get the score as low as possible. So that is what I will be doing today. What is the lowest score possible in Mega Man? Sorry if the thumbnail's bad. I had the entirety of the Mega Man X soundtrack played in one long playlist before the video released. Doodum, 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 doodum. Ah! Alright, before we strap on our Mega Busters, we have to lay some rules and general ideas down. Once selected, each boss will randomly give off a score from 50,000 to 100,000 in increments of 10,000. But I do not want to waste my time by getting the score I do not want and then having to restart my run over and over. Thankfully, I am legally playing the game, and you can use save states, which leads me to another thing. I almost can never use save states during levels, so it's not a cakewalk. I will explain the almost part later, but I can use them in between levels so I can get the lowest score for the level, that being 50,000. Or come back to them later, as Mega Man 1 does not have a password system that later entries do. Which, ironically, I managed to beat this challenge within 2 hours. Next, I will not use any glitches or exploits to my advantage. That means I cannot use the pause exploit to defeat bosses faster, as it's just kinda lame. And no turbo buttons, even though when they were kinda useless to begin with. Every enemy, when defeated, gives off points, which we do not want. And it quickly becomes a no defeating enemy run. Also, upon being defeated, they give off score balls, which we're not able to collect in the first place, so oh well. Also, upon getting a game over, the score entirely resets, which I will not count, as I want to see the least amount of points you have to get to beat this game without getting a game over. One last rule, which is the almost part to the no save states during levels rule. Because I have to do this without getting a game over, I am allowed to load a save state if I die, and will be sent back to the beginning of the level, and make another save state at the checkpoint, such as in the middle of the level, in which, because I'm never too sure about where it is, I just wait until I die and respawn to save in the middle of the level. And when I enter into a boss gate, I'm allowed to save, as that is guaranteed to be a save point. So those are the only exceptions to the no save states rule. Also during gameplay, the score will be displayed, so thanks game. Without any further ado, let's Mega Bust some metal. I decided to start with Gutsman, as his boss fight is, in my opinion, the third easiest to complete without using his weakness. Now, upon if we beat Gutsman, we get 50,000 points, which is the lowest we can go when defeating the boss. And there are 6 Robot Masters in this game, which means we have to get at least 300,000 points before going to the Dr. Wily stages. So we will try our best to stay within that range. Gutsman stage starts off pretty simple. Just make sure to dodge the Mets, or in this case, damage boost past them to get anywhere into this level. Then do the platform drop thingies that when they drop Mega Man, he gets yeeted into the bottomless void. Make it through that, and we damage boost past the ladders. Yes, that is their name in the American manual. But they know I am making fun of their name, and because of that, they want me dead. We quickly escape them, and we make it to the Hammer Brothers wannabes, the Picketmen. We carefully damage boost past them, and we fall down a collection of rooms, collecting the refills and a 1-up on the way, and then we fall back down, and we deal with the worst enemy in this game, the Big Eye. They hit so hard, it nearly takes half of your health away, so be very careful around them. Just time a jump, right, or not, and we make it to the boss hallway, where we have to damage boost past some more mets, and we make it to Gutsman. Just carefully jump when he is about to land and shoot a couple of times, and we get the magical waffle or some shit like that. I don't know, we do get the ability to throw blocks though, so that's cool, I guess. Cutman stage isn't too hard. Carefully avoid the bladders, then try to avoid the beaks to the best of your ability, then avoid whatever this machine is, and damage boost past the police. And then the room with the octopus batteries, you have no other choice than to damage boost past them. And by that point, you might as well just die and respawn to refill all of your health. On the topic of health, make sure to get any health items if you can. Also, for some reason, if the spot of an item goes off screen and Megaman returns to that screen, the health item respawns. So if you can, abuse this power as much as you can, as the rest of the level might need you to have that little bit of health. Carefully avoid the flying shells, try to avoid the Big Eye, or not, and then make it to the hallway and damage boost past the screw bombers, and we make it to Cutman. I wonder if he always chooses scissors in rock, paper, scissors. Well, either way, rock beats scissors. See what I did there? It had a double meaning, like Megaman's real name is Rock and Cutman got destroyed by the You get the point! We do get the ability to throw scissors, though. Has Dr. Light ever taught Rock not to run and throw scissors? Elecman stage. Now, for some dumb reason, I did not realize that the spine could be stopped by the Mega Buster and give you no points. Then again, the American manual does say that it does give me points, so I was just trying to be safe there. I mean, then again, the manual also mistakes Dr. Light as Dr. Right, and Mega Man has the ability to crouch apparently, although it's never in the game at all. Well then, I sure hope I do not touch the Yashichi, as that will give me 100,000 points. Other than being just stupid, we abuse the respawning of items, and we climb lots of ladders, what a thrill. And we try to avoid the Watchers, as they are annoying, especially while on the ladders. We do some of the disappearing platforms bullshit, and we have to avoid the health here, as if you know, you know. Then carefully avoid the electrical shocks. Then we use Gutsman's power to get the magnet beam, which will be very important for the rest of the challenge, as we can create platforms to avoid certain obstacles. We can also cheese some platforming segments too, which is very cool. We now have a method to avoiding the Big Eyes by going above it, instead of having to deal with all that complete RNG of the hops. We avoid some more electrical shocks, and we make it to Elecman, where we cut a few wires here and there, and we get the ability to shock some enemies with our new item. Yes, a very shocking experience. Iceman stage was the hardest Robot Master stage, in my opinion. Iceman is the only reason why most people start with Gutsman on their playthrough for crying out loud. The Crazy Razies can go suck a as you cannot just jump over them and they follow you like the bladders, which is super irritating. Once you make it to the water, you can avoid the spines and the pings, which you can easily figure out the pattern for and get used to pretty easily. Then grab the little bit of health, and then we use the magnet beam to avoid the disappearing platforms. Then we use it again to avoid the footholder enemies. Then fall to the left to attempt to grab the 1-up, or be like me and not be able to do that, but still end up getting the health items. Then avoid the big eyes, and we make it to the hallway where we have to time the pings appearing. Then we make it to Iceman, who is shocked with how shocking our weapon is. Alright, I will stop with that joke. It was bad to begin with anyway. We get to shoot, projectiles that are below 200 degrees, Celsius or Fahrenheit? I don't know. Fireman stage. You can use ice to freeze the screw bombers to prevent some damage. The fire that comes out can be timed, and the tackle fire can be a bit annoying, but manageable. The magnet beam does, however, come in handy in this area. And be careful about getting hit, as the lava seems to want you to become fried robots. We make it to the fire tube section, and we use the magnet beam to completely avoid it. Avoid the spines and the tackle fire, and further in we get to see the bullet bill wannabes, the killer bullets. They act similarly to the pegs, so they are pretty easy to avoid. Then make it to the hallway where you can just freeze the screw bombers, and we meet with Fireman, and isn't this backwards? Shouldn't fire melt ice? Or is that ice melts to become water, which hurts Fireman? But isn't the ice below 200 degrees? Still don't know if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit. Questions. But we do put out the fire, and we get the ability to shoot fire and have a fire shield surround Megaman, so I will count that as a win. Bombman stage. Now, I would have done this stage first if it weren't for one little issue, which I will cover really soon. The level starts off fine. Damage boost past the fleas and the bombs and the screw bombers with no issue. Then climb the ladder to make it to this room where you have to get the health item and then get off the screen and then re-render it to get it again. Keep doing this until you are at full health. Trust me, the next part will need it. The Sniper Joes are a pain in the to deal with. You have to use Magnet Beam to avoid the first one while avoiding the other enemies that are on screen. Then, once you make it to the room with the killer bullets, just die to regenerate all the health, and then carefully avoid the flying shells. And if you do somehow have enough health, damage boost past a Sniper Joe and get the 1-up, then damage boost past another Sniper Joe, and we make it to the hallway, and just jump down and damage boost past the octopus batteries. I am not taking my time to go down that ladder. And we make it to Bombman. And this fight was a blast with just the Mega Buster. But we use fire to light the bomb, and we do the devastating blow, and we get the final magical waffle. Alright, I'm gonna find out what it actually is. A heart part? Huh. We get to throw bombs now, and this weapon blows! So we will not need it until we fight Gutsman again anyways. Alright, now we can take on Dr. Wily. Now, because he is the final boss, if we beat Dr. Wily, we get 200,000 points, which is the only score we can get when we defeat him. We start off with Wily Stage 1, where we are avoiding the big eyes with their annoying hop RNG, as we will need Magnet Beam later in the stage. We eventually get under 3, and we use Gutsman's power to get rid of the walls. Then poorly avoid the fire jumps, then attempt to get the health refill. Then, once you make it up the ladder, wait until the fleas jump down and damage boost past them, and then use Gutsman's power to throw more walls and make sure to aim it to the left, but only slightly tap left, or the flea will respawn and ruin the run. Avoid the killer bullets, and actually try with the foot holder segment, and this is where Magnet Beam comes in handy. Once we make it to the top, we make it to the Yellow Devil, in which we beat it legitimately. Just jump, 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 long jump, 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 and then jump, and then fire. And repeat the process until the yellow devil goes boomo, and we defeat him, and we have to get 100,000 unavoidable points, which is unfortunate, but oh well. Wily Stage 2. From now on, I will hide the score as I want it to be a surprise at the end. Or not if you want to be a and skip to the end. Immediately, we are swarmed by the bladders, and we have to quickly escape before they inflict more damage onto Megaman. And we refight Cutman, and for some reason the rocks are not in this room, so we can't defeat Cutman using his weakness. And we have to gain 10,000 points, which will account for all 6 Robot Master refights. And we have to avoid some screw bombers and the bombs. We fall again, and we refight Elecman, and we make paper dolls out of him. And then die to an octopus battery, which is convenient because this is the room where we respawn in, and conveniently, there's also one up there. And further down the octopus battery trench, we see a big weapon refill, which gave me an idea. I'd get the one up, progress downwards, get a refill for the magnet beam, die, then repeat the process until it's full again. After the final refill, we make it down the level, and then a machine copies Megaman, and I die. But respawned with full health right before the fight. Just select magnet beam, and the copy robot will walk around like an idiot. And then burn him to death. Watch him melt before your very eyes. There can only be one Mega Man! We get another 100,000 points, and we proceed to Wily Stage 3, where you just have to damage boost past the octopus batteries and the screw bombers, and barely lose any health. Then for the water flowing area, just jump over the pangs and the killer bullets, and we make it to CWU01P, where the 7 circle around the stage and shoot. Just use the Mega Buster for the first 3, and they will progressively get faster and faster. After the third one, just use Gutsman's power to take him out, and we cleared another stage. Only this time, we only get 70,000 points for some reason. Wily Stage 4. Start with attempting to avoid the Watchers, damage boost past the Screw Bombers, wait for the falling platform to come, or just use the Magnet Beam, and then get the 1-up, and I touched the Yashichi. Wait, I didn't gain 100,000 points. You lied to me, Mega Man American Manual! But we did get a refill of all of our health and weapons. I mean, that is better than 100,000 points. So we make it to the teleporter, and we have to fight the rest of the Robot Masters. Starting with Bombman, who we take out with fire, and Fireman with ice, and Iceman with electricity, Gutsman with those sucky bombs. And then we move on to the final room where we refill on fire, and then we are met with the Wily machine, where we use fire to take out the shield, and then we burn Wily's machine for a rather anticlimactic final boss. And Wily's machine is down, and he is begging us to spare him, and swears that he will turn a new leaf. Yeah, he did this for 11 times now, but we get our final 200,000 points. Mega Man restores world peace until the second game, and then goes back to being Rock and heads home to Dr. Light and Roll. And we beat Mega Man, with our final score being a grand total of 8,300,000 points to beat Mega Man. Well, there you have it, the lowest score we can get in the original Mega Man. Well, it's unfortunate and probably for the best that the rest of the mainline Mega Man games don't have a scoring system, so I cannot do this challenge for those games. But I could do this for Mega Man Powered Up if I can figure out how to get a PlayStation Portable emulator working on my computer, and if enough of you are interested. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month. Do 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 do.